Well, the big question, perhaps on everybody's mind, is when will things get back to normal? We know that businesses are suffering, and there's a looming threat that the virus could reemerge again. Q13's Brian Flores is in our newsroom tonight with what a local congresswoman says needs to be done to bring back normalcy. Brian.
Yeah, it's a little bit cliche, Aliana, to say that's the million-dollar question, right? But maybe not perhaps this time, especially when billions of dollars are lost in job losses, businesses close, as you talked about, and then millions around the world continue to suffer from COVID-19. So we asked Representative Kim Schrier, who's also a pediatrician, about what it would take for our state to get back to normal. And she says it's pretty simple, really. It involves robust COVID-19 testing.
I will feel most comfortable going back to the lady who cuts my hair when I know she's been able to be tested and I know that she's not an asymptomatic spreader of coronavirus. And that's where I think we all need to think about how testing really factors into this. Won't you feel better going to a restaurant if you've been assured that everybody working in the restaurant that night has been tested and does not have coronavirus? Won't you feel better about going back to work if either you have the protective equipment or you know that the people you're working closely with are not going to spread this to you? And that, again, fundamentally, we need robust testing.
Question now is, how much is robust? Well, she says, according to the experts that she's heard from, our state would need to provide 85,000 COVID-19 tests per day in order to keep COVID-19 down. She says the state has only performed about 100,000 tests in total. She also says in order for our state to get back to normal, there needs to be a downward trend in new cases for at least a couple of weeks. But she also tells us she's proud of how Governor Inslee has led the state during this pandemic. In terms of the White House and their response, she says there's been inconsistent messaging, but she hopes that the president instills the Defense Production Act now.
The Defense Production Act gives the president the ability to say, every t-shirt company and underwear company out there, we're converting you. You're going to start making N95 masks because we need those produced here. I cannot believe that under these circumstances, we are dependent on China. I mean, the day China has a resurgence of this and they say we're not sending masks to the United States, we are in a world of hurt.
But again, she says it boils down to testing. She also says that the 3 West Coast states and the 7 East Coast states that have banded together on when to open up again is a good thing, she says, because it offers them buying power for things like testing materials and buying PPE, which so many people desperately need. And finally, she says for large groups of people getting together, she believes that's the last thing that we should be doing right now as the virus remains a threat and perhaps will be for months to come. Aliana, back over to you.
Brian, thank you. The COVID-19